Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out something called CircloO by developer Flory9. It's a very minimalist, kind of simple platformer with the premise that essentially we play as a circle who has no ability to jump and will navigate a series of circles that slowly expand based on every checkpoint that we find. I know it sounds like a bit of a strange thing to describe, but once you see it in action, honestly makes perfect sense. It's a very simple concept and, put against the lovely music, very hypnotizing kind of presentation, and there isn't too much visually going on either. You kind of fall into a bit of a zen state with it, which is always a lovely thing to experience in these sorts of games. So let's look at our settings very briefly. We can turn on and off full screen, we can disable music and sounds, and that's it. That's really all that's necessary here anyway. So why don't we jump into level 1, and we shall do some platforming without platforming. So we can use left and right arrow keys to move, and we must collect 7 circles to complete the level. So we can get momentum by going left and right, and as we collect each checkpoint, not only are we collecting a checkpoint, but we're, making the level expand a little bit. As you can see, circles everywhere, and then we're using circles as platforms, and then eventually things will get a little bit more creative after a bit. Right now it's sort of just testing the waters with the idea of creating momentum and sort of creatively also using these little miniature circles as sort of jumping off points in instances where maybe the level design isn't obvious what you're supposed to do. Sometimes you've got to actually come up with different routes, so get a little bit more momentum. This is not one of those times though. So that was the first level, very, very simple. Let's go on. So we go from that sort of brown tan world to a sort of a olive lime green world, which I sort of like quite a bit. Actually, that's, half of the presentation being the visuals. I think even though it's simply circles, it still somehow comes across as a little bit elevated. I kind of wonder though sometimes if the circles that are sort of present just as in general as obstacles and impediments, if those might maybe be a little basic looking. I don't know, maybe it's the lack of motion or something, but in general, I do really appreciate the very minimalist visuals. In that case, I had to come up with a way to get over the top of those circles in order to get enough momentum to reach that checkpoint. And I haven't actually finished this, I've only played up to a little before this part, actually, so I'm not sure quite how long this is, but, see, this is a little bit different. I like the color scheme here, and I also like the fact that we've got some lines now. Which actually I think they look much more interesting than just having like a series of circles just sort of set about in various ways. I could barely cross over the top of that. Okay. So you're reminding me a little bit of like those toys, I don't know if everybody's had these or maybe it was just me, but there were these little oil toys that you would get. It's like a little plastic container full of a bunch of little like plastic pedestals with beads of oil that would be in various like levels of viscosity, and you would bounce them around to try and get them to a certain point in whatever the goal was in that particular toy or puzzle. And I guess there's maybe a little bit of an overlap in this for some reason. I mean, it's kind of appealing to me in the same level as, like a basic kid's toy was, in that it's just very simple to manipulate, easy to understand, and reasonably gratifying as well as you learn the rules. Okay, so this time we've got to actually take a bit of a long route around. We're going to need momentum here, and then we're going to need to bounce that way. All right, and then this should cross us over into the far realm. There we go. Oh, gonna say, I was hoping that none of these levels are not beatable, because that would be kind of frustrating, wouldn't it? What is all this about? So we've got multiple other spheres pushing into me now. I guess I've got to leverage them sometimes maybe to get extra height or just to get them out of the way. So this actually lends a bit of sort of pre-planning in a way, because you're maybe not sure if you'll be able to get in between or above certain spheres depending on how you approach each level. I wonder if that's even the intent. Actually, it seems like it's already kind of fallen away, because it seems like you could use those in a variety of different ways, not only to give yourself momentum, but to act as makeshift platforms to then let you get up above things. Alright, that was the end of that already. I feel like we're introducing these simple concepts, and eventually they're going to get very complex, and hopefully not arduous, because that seems to be a thing that I've seen happen in a few different puzzle games sort of similar to this. So far, though, I have no indication of that. So we're pushing that over, then it creates, a little hierarchy of spheres. And then those stay... Oh, perfect! So we actually use that to kind of scamper over in the other direction each time the sphere falls away, and now it's actually acting as a blockade, so I've got to get over top of it. These are very creative puzzles in a very subtle way. I like this presentation quite a bit. I wonder, though, it might be harder for the developer to create these than they are to solve. I mean, I've done some similar types of thing in Super Meat Boy, with trying to create, like, new ways to utilize kind of traditional means, being in, you know, specifically with platformers, that there's a whole series of tools that we're kind of used to as a player, how we navigate things and how we utilize them to create situations that can let us be successful. In this case, though, we're just utilizing simple geometry, and that's a whole different world. So I wonder, like, how many ways you can kind of create new visions of puzzles that aren't just, like, really difficult to make and not very difficult to solve. Because right now I feel like this is not so much of a challenge, I'm just trying to execute here. I need to just get up on that platform and I think just use it as a... Oh wait, actually I think I'm just meant to go that way. Way higher than I'd actually been going. Just gotta... Oh, that's an odd spot to stick. Alright, we'll get momentum one more time. Every so often there's like a specific orientation of like the various parts on the screen, and they're actually very, very pretty to look at just artistically, and you know, as its own framing point. There we go. That's what I was after. And oh, we've got to get over that part too. Maybe we can bounce up to the left. Oh, you know what? I've fallen. I think I could have actually done it all in one fell swoop from its own position. If I just hit that and then hook back over to the other side. Oh, kind of screwed that up. Or maybe I shouldn't really, you know, trouble myself with coming up with new complicated ways to do things I already know how to solve successfully. There we go, level complete. Oh boy, what's all this about? Got a whole pile of little spheres here. This is interesting. Again, makes me wonder though, are there conditions where you can break the level and have it not be solvable? And if there aren't ways to do that, then kudos to the developer, because this seems very complex to design around all these moving physics-based parts that really you have no control over beyond just where they can land. I guess these the sizes of them were very well considered. Ah, see, that was lovely. That was all very seamless. All right, now we've got whole little bridge ball things. All right, I just solved that second level without even meaning to. This is so creative. I love this. Now we got the whole science balls thing, you know, the little click-clack situation. How do I get up there? Do I have to just get a whole bunch of momentum first and then bounce through? I don't actually... Oh, okay, I was going to say I don't even know where the goal is here. That's almost it. Let's get some more momentum. Of course, it's going to stop us right there, so there is a cutoff point. Oh, nope, that's not it. Am I actually meant to go through that like a bridge, or maybe meant to go over the top? I mean, there is something there to catch me at the end. I think maybe those are just getting in the way. Maybe I'm just meant to go even higher. Because if I could just ride over the top of them, I think I wouldn't have any trouble with those. Oh, or that's fine too. I'll take that. And I want to get inside of there. Just gonna slow down for a second. Okay, we gotta use the pendulum as a makeshift platform to glide over. Should not be that difficult. I just need to catch the timing correctly. Oh, almost. If I would have just kept holding back, I think I would have had that one. Nope. But this is what I mean in terms of creativity, like using all of these parts in new ways, I think is really fantastic. I'd love to see more games that do things like this, and I hope this is a reasonably long game, because actually I would love to play this for quite a while. It's just, again, the amount of time and consideration necessary for these puzzles, I feel like, is probably going to vastly outweigh the amount of time it takes to solve them. I could probably just bounce off of the thing, and that would probably work as well. Yeah. I was making that more difficult than it needed to be. Oh, what's up with this? Did we just kick that up on top of here, and then what are we going to do with it? Kind of just got in the way, didn't it? We could just do, like, one of these, and then, yeah, like that. Oh, alright. Well, that last one was kind of a giveaway, wasn't it? Alright, how about we go up... Oh. Bounce left, then right. Come on. I guess the reason I thought of Meat Boy as well was because I did a whole chapter that was kind of based on a similar visual motif too. Having things just be simple, sort of monochrome, but like accenting colors that work well together. Well, again, trying to utilize concepts in a different way. So I guess there's a number of parallels there that I wouldn't have expected. I was kind of hoping one of these would allow me to go over the top, but I don't think it's going to let me. Oh, what's this? Like, half of that's a bridge, the other half isn't? I don't even have to really do anything with that. Probably want to bounce off of that, like there, and then... Oh, how am I supposed to get over that? Use the bridge, I guess. Oh, they're both a bridge. Okay. Simple enough. Oh! Thought I was going to get that one really quickly. Get out of the way. Get on the other side. There we go. Now I should be able to bounce right up into it. Well, provided I didn't just do what I just did there. Alright, we solved it anyway. I unlocked hard mode. Activate it from the main menu. That's fantastic. So far, I can't say that any of these puzzles have been particularly challenging, but I think they're actually a really nice sweet spot where I think this won't really drive anyone away. I think if some of these puzzles were too elaborate, too complex, or required like an immense amount of pre-planning, this would probably get more frustrating than I think a lot of people would be willing to put the time in to figure out. Just because, again, it seems so simple, but you could also come up with some very complex ways to manipulate these simple tools. And I think it would maybe be kind of hit or miss or kind of luck-based whether or not you ended up getting everything to orient in the right direction. That would then be able to put you in a winning position by the end. Alright, what's going on here? Okay, this is just meant to slow me down so I can't build up momentum on it. Not really going to bother me when I'm up there. Oh, alright, well I managed to reach it anyway. And I think now I'm meant to actually use this as a bridge again, like I did that other time. Okay. This is actually one of those cases where I think it is a little bit luck-based. Yeah, it wasn't that hard, though. You cannot take the circle yourself. Use another ball instead. Oh. Alright, so now we've entered a whole new world of puzzle solving. And maybe that was just an introduction to what we had prior. Alright, push that up. Now get a little momentum here. This one should push a lot higher. Perfect. Oh, that one doesn't have a ball in the center. Am I meant to get that one? Yes, I am. Okay. Reading the cues. Oh, okay. We gotta watch this. Will that solve itself? Yes, it will, even if I'm off the screen. So that now has added a whole new layer. If I can solve puzzles while I'm not even there... Uh-oh. Alright, thankfully that was well considered. Perfect. Oh, I like this little face. It reminds me of Arakune from Place Blue. Alright, so maybe this is the one where I was meant to jump over the top. I'm gonna require quite a bit of momentum for that, though. Close enough. Oh, okay, the little ball in the center, I guess we need to use that. Probably should have been on the other side. Well, that's fine, we needed to get it out of there anyway. Perfect. Oh, see, this is totally back to what I was talking about at the beginning about the oil mazes and things. This is more reminding me of like a ball bearing maze now, which was also a staple of being young for some reason. I'm not really sure why. Let's get on the other side of that. I've always wanted to play like a pachinko machine since I was little for some reason. Never run into one in real life. But, you know, things like this, I guess, and maybe part of that love was spurred on by things like Plinko and Price is Right or something like that. But I've always had this thing with, like, just messing around with marbles and dominoes and things that cause each other to move in ways, you know, physics, essentially. Just being able to manipulate the world around you and using simple things to achieve interesting results. I've always been fascinated by that. So games like this, I guess they kind of hit a particular chord with me that I find maybe not everybody could relate to, but, you know, I wish most people could. There we go. And where is our... I think this is going to be the last level I play. I was thinking about doing a little bit of a segment on my live stream, maybe doing like once a week, one game that I don't finish on Indie Impressions that people are interested in watching me play more of. It doesn't have to be this one. But maybe I could just do a stream that's like, you know, out of this week's Indie Impressions, what do you want to watch me finish? And then I'll just play through the whole game, if it's, you know, conducive to doing so, of course. But yeah, let me know in the comments if that's something that you might be interested in. I think it would solve quite a few problems, honestly, because a lot of people want to see me play more games that I don't finish on Indie Impressions, and that would be a good way to do that and still, you know, not make it take up a ton of time because it would be part of the live stream, and then everybody would be kind of have their wishes granted in a way. Because I want to play them too, I just don't often have time, so I'm always moving on through things. Alright, this is very awkward. I may have created a position here that is not very well considered, because there's that little ball giving friction. I hope I can reach that. Oh, so close. Alright, one more. I hope this will do it. Alright, perfect. So, main menu, and we made it through 11 levels on normal mode. I'm pretty into this game. This is actually really fun. I enjoyed a lot the time that I spent with this. That was CircloO. There will be a link, of course, in the description if you'd like to try this yourself. It is an itch.io game, of course, so if you're interested, highly recommend if you can support the developer. They're all pay as you want, so if you want to put $1 in, if you want to put no dollars in, if you want to put $10 in, whatever you feel is appropriate, please go ahead and do that. And of course, let me know how you thought this game held up in the comments if you'd like. I think it was surprisingly more complex than I expected it to be. I was kind of expecting it to be like 3 or 4 levels and then it would end. So I'm glad that it didn't, and I hope that it keeps going on for quite a while, because I was really getting into the progression of these patterns. So yeah, let me know what you think about this in general if you'd like in the comments. Give it a download, try it yourself, and of course be sure to come back again very soon. New episodes of Indie Impressions go up every other day, I guess we're going to do now. Either every day or every other day or something very near to that. I saw someone lift a comment that was like, I'm so sad my sleeping schedule has been disrupted because there haven't been new Indie Impressions up every night. I've been trying out a different schedule a little bit, and I don't know, if it makes people sad that they're not every day, maybe I'll have to go back to every day. I really don't want to disappoint anybody with this series, and I love covering these games. It's just a lot of work to do all the sound stuff every time and set levels and then find a new equilibrium for every recording that needs to be done. So that's why I was trying a different thing. But let me know what you think about all that as well. If you're okay with, you know, a few less a week, or if you'd still like it to be daily, it's totally flexible. I could do either one. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I will see you all very soon for another one, and I hope you have a fantastic night.